Okay, so at this point, if you're watching this video, you should have already cropped your image. You should have cleaned it up, taken off any little bits of mess that might have shown up from your pencil marks, turned it into a pure black and white, and then converted it back into a RGB color. So again, to do that, it goes from mode bitmap. Okay, so once you're ready to make your layers and color and you have it all cleaned up and it's still in the bitmap mode, you're going to go image mode grayscale. It doesn't let you go right from bitmap to color. I don't know why, but you have to change it to grayscale and click OK. Then you go image mode RGB color. Okay, so now you have a color file, even though it looks black and white. And if you zoom way in, you can see that it is just black and just white. And if you see any little pixels in your lines, it's okay as long as it's got a pretty solid line there. So it should be pretty clean. There shouldn't be any little bits of things marked around. It should be a nice clean drawing like this, okay? Like a coloring book. And now what you're going to do is you're going to make 3 layers. Okay, so your layers menu, if you don't see it, it looks like this. I usually get rid of a lot of my other things and I just keep my history and layers and a few other things on here. So all of those little floating menus like layers and history are under the window menu at the top. And they're all in alphabetical order except for these things down here, like your tool, that's your toolbar. So if you ever lose your tools, it's right here. But these are all alphabetical. So you should have layers checked and it should be over here. You should see a little menu that says layers, okay? So what you're gonna do is you have your background. So you've saved your file and it's a Photoshop file. So it should be saved in, so if I did a file save as, for example, I put it in my Creative Cloud files. I saved it as a Photoshop file under format if it didn't show up that way. And it's like that, okay? So it's all ready to make 3 layers. So we're gonna do 3 different versions of this, and I'm gonna teach you some things about color theory, and we're gonna learn how to put textures and pictures inside. And the first one that you're gonna do is my choice. So you can color however you like, and you're gonna go right click on the background layer and choose duplicate layer. And you just type in my choice and click OK. So now you have 2 layers and they're exactly the same. You are not ever going to delete this background layer. Okay. And then you're going to right click again on my choice, duplicate layer, call that color theory, which we'll talk about later. What that includes, right click again, duplicate layer, call it texture. So texture, so you should have background, my choice, color theory, and texture. And then what I want you to do is I want you to kind of squish up your screen. So you're going to squish it up like this, small, because I don't want a big giant thing. So you're going to just grab the corner and then you're going to Command 0, the number, not the letter. And now see how I've made this small on my screen. So I can take a pretty small screenshot. I'm going to press Command Shift 4. And that will give me this little thing right here with the circle with the little crisscross. And I'm going to just click from the corner, the top corner, down to the bottom. So I want to see your layers that you made, the 4 layers. And there's my screenshot. So that's going to go, if you don't touch it, it'll wait for a second and it'll put it on your desktop. So just leave it. And then you can zoom back in, make this bigger on your screen, Command 0 to bring it larger, and then you can continue on coloring. So that's all you have to do to turn in the assignment. And then I'm going to show you how to color. Okay, but first I want you to take your screenshot. Then you can start coloring on my choice. So what you're going to do on my choice is you're going to go to click on my choice. See how this is gray right here and this is not? You want to make sure you're on the correct layer. Right now, they're all exactly the same. So it's kind of hard to tell which one you're on, except for when you click it, it changes to a little gray highlight. We're going to do my choice. And you'll see on the left side of your layers, you'll see a little eyeball. You're going to hide all the other layers. So you have a highlight on my choice and it's showing. Without it, it shows this checkerboard pattern. And that means that it's transparent and there's nothing there. So my choice, and to color, so we've changed it, right, to RGB color. And you are going to choose your colors. So one of the things about coloring, though, is you want to try to spread the colors to a variety of places so it unifies your work. So I wouldn't just pick like 100 random colors and just be like, I'm going to do yellow here, I'm going to do blue here, I'm going to do this here, this. You want to kind of do, if you do some color up at the top, you might want to do some on the other side to kind of balance it out. So that's one of the things that you want to know about balancing. So we're going to use the paint bucket, which is on your toolbar, and it looks like this. And we are going to choose a color. So right now you have black and you have white. Everything that's on this one, where you see it's white, is what would happen if you use the eraser when you were using the black and white version before we made it into color. So we're not really going to use this, although you could change that color and you could go back and forth if you're trying to use the same colors. But to see this little thing right here, it's the switcher. It'll switch the colors. But I'm going to click on this top left one and I'm just going to choose a color. So you can pick your colors by going up and down the spectrum, and that'll give you the different colors. And then you see how on the square, you have, this is the most saturated, and then this adds darkness as you go down towards the black corner, and this adds lightness as you go towards the white corner. So you can make lighter versions of the color and darker versions of the color. I'm just going to go ahead and go to the far corner where it's the most saturated, and I'm going to pick that for my first color. So I might put that in the background. So wherever you click, it's going to color. It's going to drop color in. So if I click this and this and this, I'm just going to click those. I think I'll click this one too. Okay, so I've got that. Whoops, that probably should be the same. So I've picked those colors. And now I'm going to change colors to something else. So I've used this blue and it's all kind of heavy up here. So to balance it out, I might go down here in the bottom and add some of that same color to some of the places. See how it kind of brings it together by adding that color. And I'm going to leave this little window here. I'm going to make that something different. So now I'm going to pick another color. I'm going to just go and I'm going to do something red. So I'm going to choose red. And now you see that red is right there. So I can go in and color some of the things here. Maybe the little rocket. Nah, I'm going to undo that. Command Z, Command Z. I'm going to just do this little part right there. And I'm going to color some of this for continuity across. And maybe put a couple bits of red. So see how there's a little bit of red in all these different places? Maybe I'll even add this. No, I don't want to do that. I'll leave it for now. Okay, so what if I want my blue? I noticed that this little thing that looks like Saturn is missing the blue there. So if I want to get the blue back, I just press the Option key and see how it changes to a little magnifying glass. If I put it right here, the bucket, and then I do that, you see the magnifying glass, I can just select the color and now notice that it's changed back to that color. And I can go here and here. Now I suggest that when you do small places that you zoom in. So see this tiny space right here? If I want to color this, I should zoom in. Okay, so maybe I'm going to make that yellow. And then I can just click on there. And I can press the space bar and move it around and color some of those other things that kind of look like stars. Maybe I'll color these little guys like stars. Now, the nice thing is if I change my mind and I go, well, that blue is really light. It's like daytime to me. I think I'm going to change my blue. So you can just go in and you can select the blue, click on it, and then go, well, I want something darker. So it's going to show you your current and your new color. I'm going to drag this up to the darker blue. And I'm going to color it this darker one. And I can just go drop, drop, drop. Oh, I missed that last time. Drop, 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 and drop. And I'm going to zoom in a little to make sure I get this and don't hit the line. What happens if I hit the line? Well, I'm going to pull red so you can see what really happens. If I accidentally touch the line, look how it changed all the lines that were connected. Everything that was connected turned red. If you do that, immediately click on Command Z and it'll undo it. Or you can go to your history and you can see that I've done all these paint buckets already. If I step back or step forward, I can step back. Don't click on the little check mark. Don't do that and delete it. Just click on the thing, okay? The item, and go back however far you want to do, okay? So that you can use your history also to kind of go back and do things. And I want to get this, but I'm red, so I'm going to press Option and grab the blue, and I'm going to get that one. Did I get it all? Yep. Okay, so that's basically how you set it up and start to color. So you can do my choice only. You can change your colors. You can also, I think I'll show you how to do a gradient. I can show you that in this video too. Let's see. To do a gradient, if you press and hold the paint bucket, you'll find the gradient tool. Now, up here, you have gradient. You notice when you change tools, how this area changes. We talked about that before, I think. I don't want to go from the blue to white, which is showing the background to the foreground. It shows you a lot of different things. I'm going to leave it to that. And this is a straight gradient. You can also do a circle gradient. I'm going to change this one. If I double click on it, oh, it doesn't do it anymore. Okay. It used to. All right, well, we're just going to click on this and I'm going to make it, I'm going to do a gradient along one of these little things. Okay, so I'm going to pick red. I didn't do it red. And I'm going to pick a darker red, or no, I'm going to pick orange. So you should always use analogous colors, which means that they're near each other. So if you see how they're close, if I did red to green, it would look really muddy. But if I do red to orange or red to yellow, it'll make a nice gradient. So I'm going to fill this area. Now, if I just click and drag, it's going to fill everything. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to use the magic wand, which is right here. Make sure it's selected magic wand, and you click the thing that you want to do. All right, it's selecting everything that's white. So you got to make sure that you have contiguous clicked. And now if I click, it'll just get what I want. And when I add shift, I'm going to get this and this. So now all of these sections are all selected. So I'm going to go and get the gradient tool, and I'm going to click on this end, and I'm going to pull it down here. So if you look, notice that if I have my little end circle, it's mostly red, but if I pull it all the way down to here and I let go, that's got more orange. And I can go in and I can change it if I want to before I click off of it. So I can change it. And I can switch it if I want. I could swap these. And I could change it this way. Make it more like that. Okay, so you can kind of play around. It's a pretty fun thing to do. And now I'm going to click on the magic wand. And I'm going to click another thing. So once I've done that, I can't go back and change it. Like if I click this, oh, you can. That's new. Wow, cool. All right, so if you click on that, it'll show you your gradients and you can change them. That's nice. That's very new. Great. All right, so I'm going to click on the magic wand and I'm going to click this. I'm going to press my shift key to add. I'm going to click this and I'm going to do a gradient on this. So I'm going to do yellow. I'm gonna make it kind of orangey yellow to green. Okay. Now I go to the gradient tool and I click and drag this through here. Oh, didn't do it. What happened? How do I get rid of this? I need to, oh, if I hold the command key and I deselect that, then I can do a new one. But it didn't pick my colors. Let's try this. This is something. If you drop down on basics and select the first one, you can do this from clear into black and white. If you do basics, they have it arranged different. You click on that, and now I can do my gradient the way that I picked. Okay, so there's a couple gradients. If I press the command key and I deselect, now I've deselected that and I can make all different ones. So that's basically how you do it. I'm not in love with that green and yellow. I kind of like this a lot better, so I'd probably play around with that. But do change your colors, choose, don't change your black lines to another color. Keep them black. And that is it.